So you've just got back home after a long day of work or school or whatever it may be that you do on a daily basis, and you get ready to wind down for the evening and partake in your favorite activity. This is likely one of your hobbies, your passion for something. This can be anything from watching all the TV shows to gaming, from painting or watching sports to blowing bubbles maybe? I don't know. Doesn't really matter what you like, it's that it matters to you, and for some of us, we often find ourselves wanting to share this feeling we get from said activity, and thus we look to community environments or more accessible platforms like social media. Well, if you're like me, you eventually come across a page or a channel that makes content creation look easy. You see someone just took a clip of themselves doing literally anything with minimal editing, and you think to yourself, this dude just went viral blowing bubbles. Even I can do better than that. Well, for the most of you out there that have actually tried putting something out, you come to find it's not that simple. Maybe staring into a camera is absolutely terrifying, or hearing the sound of your own voice in a playback is nauseating. Sometimes you manage to put everything together, and as soon as you go to hit that upload button, you hesitate. What if my content is boring? What if I hadn't researched enough? What if my friends and family see it? What if people don't like it? Let's say you've mustered up the courage to put yourself out there and you get results. Not at all what you were expecting, huh? Well, that's okay, it's just my first post. So you try again, and you're taking quality advice from others and incorporating practices that start to make your content better and better each time. Sometimes you even get that really nice hit that makes everything start to seem like all of that hard work was worth it. Then of course, in most cases, again, it's back to business as usual. After a while, when that honeymoon phase wears off, things start to get a bit harder. You aren't as motivated as you were before, and it's starting to take a lot more energy to make something after a long day, and you're not even sure whether or not it's even worth the effort. You're starting to get burnt out, and you just don't have the time to put together something you might deem more worthwhile, so you just dish out whatever you can, or not even anything at all for a while. And worst of all, every time you think about simply doing your hobby for yourself, well, now you feel like you're just wasting an opportunity to create more. And you start to feel like you gotta wait until you're ready to do both. Now you've dug yourself into a hole that you never even considered was possible, and it feels like it will be impossible to get out. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's something that you can do about that, and it's to focus on making content that means something to you. No, not for anyone else, but for you. I mean, let's be honest, that's the reason you even got here in the first place. It's just really easy to forget that in the pursuit of chasing trends. You can forget what made you want to share your creations if you don't remember why you started to begin with. You can tell yourself it's for the money, the clout, or just connecting with others, and of course those are all fine reasons, but it's your passion for something that drives you the most at its core value. Think back to that time you finally landed your first kickflip. That big touchdown pass you threw that signified your dedication to your craft. Pulling that holographic Bulbasaur in the schoolyard during recess. It wasn't no Charizard, but it damn sure was your favorite Pokemon at the time. Whatever it may be for you, you've got to dig into that and use it as fuel that helps you create something that connects you and others to that feeling. It's what people seek out in other people's content in the first place. It's what likely got you into it. And even if you only manage to resonate with a few people on a profound level, that's what should matter the most. And if you actually put that into effect, you will literally witness your content transform before your very eyes. At the end of it all, though, never forget why you started. I want to make another point as well. With me saying all of this, that doesn't mean that your previous creations suddenly become less important than the things you look forward to doing in the future. Every minute and every second you spend honing your craft holds much more weight than you may realize, and in fact, just the simple thought of wanting to take a hobby of yours even further is something that doesn't happen regularly. which means you should seize that opportunity and experience what else it may have to offer. Hell, I'd say even if you realize you don't want to produce content and share with others, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just engaging in a community and bolstering its existence is more than you might think, because you have interacted with something that other people have interacted with out there, and they're hoping to hear others' expression on the matter so they too can understand their passion in a way that they may not have ever even considered. And in my opinion, I feel as though that's why we do it all, you know? It's not that you're seeking validation from others or hoping your perspective is the right one, and I'm using air quotes there, but it sort of feels like we've lost a part of our culture as a whole, no matter what background you come from. I feel like that's something we may not realize is missing from when things were much more simple. And in order to get back to that place, I feel as though finding meaning in the things that we tend to do naturally is something that we can all benefit from. I believe that in order to maximize that, sharing our different experiences with one another is one of the few things we seem to cling to as a species. And with that being said, I hope that you can find your peace and place with whoever is willing to listen. Too often we spend too much time trying to figure out who is right, when the answer has been right in front of us the whole time: each other. When I started making content for this YouTube channel, I thought it would go a certain way so long as I followed the curated path that was suggested when I would consume other people's work. I became pleasantly surprised when I realized that there's much more to all of this, and that came from the different types of people that I've met and the people that would reach out and brought a new perspective that I'd never even considered would mean more than just comments and stats on a screen. Understanding that there are all kinds of trials and tribulations that different folks go through, yet they still find a way to come to one place and find, well, something of note within their respective places is just so serene. And I can't help the feeling of wanting to point that out to people. I get that there's obviously passion behind the things that we find ourselves delving into, but why not take that passion and use it to make something indelible? To wrap things up, I figured I would try something different on this channel to see if you guys would dig it or not, and I'm guessing if you made it this far, you might as well let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe as well if you want to see more from Skill Issue. For those of you more familiar with the green screen stuff, don't worry, we'll of course still be making those videos. It's just that they take a while, and there's so many ideas I want to share with you all that I'm at my wit's end trying to figure out how to fit all of them into the time frame I have to work with due to my schedule. And some of those things don't really need a grandiose presentation in order for me to get my point across. However, I would rather be able to share as much as possible and as often as possible while still leaving room to make some really cool shit with my friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, bye.